Hello everyone and welcome to Holiday Chat with Amy, and today I am sporting this fantastic headband hat thing. And what's really fun about this is that it has a wire, so you can have it like be straight up, but then it's hard to be on a Facebook Live video because it's so tall. Aren't you glad that you get to know my dorky side through this experience? Uh-oh, I had it perfect before. So yeah, it's been super fun to find cute things like this and actually have an excuse to buy them. So I hope you're enjoying my festivities here at Holiday Chat with Amy. And if you're just joining me, I would love for you to say hello, where you're from, and yeah, just maybe say one thing that you're grateful for, because I think this is also a really great time of year to focus on gratitude. And as I was thinking about gratitude, I was thinking about even just being grateful for having this amazing social media platforms that we can connect with people all over the world. Facebook is certainly my favorite, and I just think Facebook Live is incredible if you really think about it. The fact that I can just stream live right from my home and be here with all of you is just incredible. So anyway, I just want to give people a chance to hop on, because today I am excited to talk about the power of deep connection in sales conversations. And for those of you who are new to me, I'm all about the power of deep connection in so many different ways, in terms of being connected with yourself, with your vision, with your ideal clients, with your audience, because I have such a strong belief system that when you are deeply connected in all those ways, then building a successful and fulfilling business is a lot easier. And especially when it comes to things that we have resistance around. Hey Norma, it's pretty incredible to think about how you can really take steps forward and just think about, like, how can I really make a difference for this person? So I'm just gonna check something really quickly here, make sure that I am, like, when technology is not totally on your side and you wanna make sure that everything's working. Okay, just give me one moment. If you're just joining me, then go ahead and say hello. Okay, so I think we're good. So on that note, I'm just gonna jump right in and talk about the power of deep connection in sales conversations. And maybe there's some of you who have already been in sales in some form or fashion, whether it was in your career or now as an entrepreneur, you're actually selling your own services. And I remember when I made this shift, like, I have a background working in the local media here in the greater Seattle area. I worked in the media for about 15 years in promotions and marketing, and then in advertising sales. Like, I literally sold air for a living, because I worked in radio. And I used to think about that. I'm like, I sold air. No, what I was really selling was an audience and a format and a way for advertisers to reach their ideal clients, which is kind of fun because that's what I do now, even with my own platforms, and I help my clients to also deeply connect with their audience. And what was missing for me back in my corporate days was that authenticity and being able to personally connect. And I think something just was, for me anyway, the experience of it was quite different, where there was just a lot of people would refer to our industry as like a cutthroat industry. And, just that if you're talking to buyers, you're going to be chewed up and spit out. And there were just horrible things that they would say. I'm like, okay, so why am I doing this to myself, And I decided to still, at that time, just bring my own authenticity to the table, so I didn't have to be like a slimy salesperson that was just here to close a deal. And when I shifted from that into having my own business, I just thought that I get to continue to be authentic to me and really standing for other people and their visions and really making a difference for them, while still having, my background to come into play and using what I've learned in my career and my experience of helping people to reach their audience, to connect with their audience. And what I feel so strongly about is to make a difference for them. So I'm so excited to share with you some things that have been really beneficial, not only in my own company's growth, but also for a lot of my clients, my colleagues, and my entrepreneurial friends who I love to help in terms of growing. And so when it comes to sales, and this is something where I just invite you to just really be present here, because you might hear something that could really shift and up level you in sales. So even if you are like rocking it out in sales, you're really great at sales, like I'm great at it, but I always think there's always more to learn, and it's all about connection. It's all about connection. So when I think about sales conversations, the reason why I believe that using the power of deep connection is so important is that then it's less about you making a sale and it's more about you making a difference. right? You feel it, right? It's not about you making a sale. It's about you making a difference. So I jotted some things down because I could go on and on about this topic, and I know that our time is limited, so I'm gonna make sure that I keep it succinct. So first of all, one of the things that I do before I am going to have a sales conversation, which some of you may call it an enrollment conversation, a strategy call, a discovery call, an assessment, all sorts of different titles that you can use for your sales calls. I like to actually call it a make a difference call, but for the sake of this clarity, I'll call it a sales call. So prior to me even getting on a call, I just take a little bit of time so I'm not rushing from one call to another or from one thing to another, and allow myself to get really centered. And one of the things that I remember sharing this from a stage last year, I thought, I hope people don't think I'm weird. And then I just let that go because I was just being authentic to what I do before any conversation like that, is I think about how can I be really present and make sure that whatever is coming up for me in that day, if there's anything stressful or things that are in my mind, that stuff has no business being in my energy on a sales conversation call. So what I'll do, and this is something that you can try if you want to, I think there's something to energy and really allowing yourself to visualize taking things out of your being so that you can be really clear. So I did this, I remember starting to do this thing, and then once I shared it with people, they actually tried it. They're like, this actually really works. I'm like, okay, so I'm not gonna worry about being weird or whatever. So I pretend that so you can do this right now while you're here on the call on this Facebook Live with me, is you can pretend there's an invisible box in front of you. So just grab a box, and then if there's anything that is taking up your mind, whether it's stressful or just really occupying your presence, then you can pretend that you're taking that stuff out of your being and putting it in this box, okay? So anything stressful, just like if you're like thinking about bills and I gotta do some Christmas shopping or holiday shopping and I have all these errands to run and I have to make some sales, or like whatever is coming up for you, if you just pretend there's an invisible box and you pull things out of you and you put it in this box until you actually feel clearer, right? Then you can grab this box from both sides, this invisible box, and set it aside. And it's not that those things will go away. They don't go away. It's just nice to be able to set things aside before you're about to have a conversation with a potential client. It just clears the energy, and then you can just allow yourself to be super present before you're even on the call. And presence is everything. If you are rushed or feeling like, oh my gosh, I just hope that this works out, I hope this is my next client, if you're in that energy of any kind of desperation or scarcity or freak out mode, then that energy is going to come through, whether you realize it or not, in that conversation. If anyone else has joined, I would love for you to say hello. I always like to see who's on. I see a handful of people on here. Okay, so first it's just like, get present, put it in the box, set it aside, so you can be right here. I also think grounding your feet on the floor, taking a few deep breaths, and just like, okay, this is great. I get to talk to this person. If you're like me and you've got a predominantly online business, then you are talking to people that you've never met. Like, I love the fact that I get to meet people all the time from all over the world. And so for me to give myself the gift of being present for them it just really works for me. Okay, so just being present. The second thing is to really be compassionate in this conversation, especially for those of you who are coaches. Sometimes people, when they get on a call with you, they might be a little bit either intimidated or afraid that you're going to try to sell them something, or maybe they have a wall up around the very area that you help people with, whether you're in the health industry, the love and relationship industry, the business world, money, abundance, healing. I mean, there's so many different areas of coaching and healing and service-based entrepreneurship. And sometimes people are uncomfortable being on a call with you and you don't know what their experience has been with either coaches or just human beings in general. So when you can really practice compassion in the conversation and just open yourself up to put yourself in their shoes and really listen to where they are right now. Like, just really just be that compassionate, present person. They may not have people like that in their life, and here you are, potentially a complete stranger, maybe not. And when you're willing to be that present and just think, I am here for you. I am here for you. That's when they feel that energy, and it's a highly generous way of being, so that you're actually dedicating that time to them. And this is part of your life. Like, this is one of your precious life hours or half hours, however long you're on your conversation with them, that you are actually dedicating to another person. I think it's actually really beautiful. Okay, I'm going to take a moment. Kate says, hello, I'm watching and listening. Love this setup today. Thank you. Yes, it's right up my energetic alley. Awesome. Okay, so just being present, really, being compassionate, and just really allowing yourself to understand where they are right now. Especially if you're someone who has conversations all the time, whether it's coaching calls or you're leading calls like Facebook Live videos, webinars, free live training calls, or maybe you're just working with people one-on-one and having a lot of one-on-one conversations. Remember that while you may be coaching people or offering your services, your expertise all the time, for the person who's talking to you, this might be the first time, or you might be the only person that they've ever experienced this with. So why not be compassionate and not think of it as like, oh, got another call. Like, no, every call matters. Every person matters. So when you can be that present for them, it's a beautiful thing. Hey, Anahita. She says, when I do this, it ends up with I am giving too much away, and they're like, thanks. Okay. Yeah, so there is that piece of it, Anahita. I'm glad you bring this up. So what I like to do is just make sure I'm also aware of the time, because I used to have sales or enrollment conversations that would go on forever because I love to chat and I love to talk about everything, and the same thing would happen. So I just think about, okay, how much time am I going to cut out? And everybody's different. Some people will be on calls for like 15 minutes. Others might be on a call for 20 to 30 minutes. Others are more like 45 minutes to an hour. I wouldn't go beyond an hour. I used to go about an hour and 15 minutes. But if you go too long, I think that it can just become all about like the backstory, when it's, I love to hear about where people are, and I'm here to listen, but I really am committed to making a difference for them on the call. And if they spend too much time giving me this long drawn out backstory, then it doesn't help me help them as much as I can in the time we have. So Anahita, I don't know if this helps. I'm not sure what comes up on your calls, but I make sure that I am being giving, and at the same time, I'm standing for their vision. So I'm thinking about, how can I best help this person? She said, I don't go over an hour unless we're closing. Yeah, I hear you. Sometimes that will happen as well. So Anahita, like, since we're connected, I'm so happy to help you with this too, if we want to chat privately off of this Facebook Live. But I love what you're saying about this. And what can I say about giving to? I'll hit up these other points that I want to share, and then I may come back to this, because this is a big thing that I've heard from entrepreneurs, where there's like, well, if I give too much on this call, then suddenly they're like, oh, I have what I need and I'm good. It's a really great point. Okay, so then another tip is to not be attached. So what does this mean? I used to be so attached to every call becoming my next client. I'm like, oh, this person's my next client, it's be great. And what I noticed is that when I shift to being unattached and really focus on making a difference and standing for them, that's when I was really able to let go of the need to make a sale and just be in service to them. Hey, Sonia. Oh, Anahita says, yes, me too, I'll come back. Okay. So in that case, if you're on a sales call and you're wanting to really deeply connect with them, what's great is if you just let go of attachments. Let go of, oh, this person has to become my next client, because maybe they are not the right fit. Maybe they are not in the right place. Like, it's not always that every single person is your ideal client. So I only make an offer when I believe that what I'm offering can make a difference for the person that I'm talking to. If they're asking about something that is not my area of expertise, I'm not going to say, oh, well, I think I can figure that out for you and I should make an offer anyway. I'm just very honest. I'm just like, this is not really my area of expertise, but here's what I would recommend for you. And I may refer them to someone or talk about what I've done to learn about that area. And then sometimes I will hire somebody to handle that part of my business. Facebook advertising comes to mind. Like, I've learned enough about it, but not to the point where I want to be teaching it, or where I myself even want to be in Power Editor making it happen with a split testing. So I'm like, why not hire the experts to do that and not have that on my plate? Not being attached, like, just let go of attachment. And then finally, really being committed to making a difference. Just be so committed to making a difference. I know you hear me say that a lot, but it really helps me shift anytime I'm in a conversation with someone. Instead of making it about me, I'm focusing on them and how I can make the biggest difference for them. And that's why I like to call it a make a difference call versus a sales call, because then it's not always going to be a sales call. It's not always set up for me to sell them something. What I do believe in is making a difference for every person I connect with to the best of my ability. And if I can do that in an enrollment conversation on a sales call, then I feel like I've done what I'm here to do. And then I trust that a percentage of the people that I chat with on the phone will be my ideal client. I will be able to make a bigger difference for them if we get the chance to work together. And that's when I will make an offer to step into either Powerhouse or my upcoming VIP program. So so I just want to see if this is helpful, if you have any ahas, or if you want to even share some of the things that you do to practice the power of deep connection in your sales conversations. Also, this is your chance to ask me anything. This is my gift to you. Holiday Chat with Amy is my gift to you, so that I can provide you with some free coaching or guidance or inspiration or support on where you are now in relation to where you want to go to finish the year strong. And so I invite you to just think about if there's one question that you would like to ask me that I can provide you coaching on. And I know Anahita had to jump off, so I can always come back to her later in terms of answering about if you give too much on a call. So any questions? As I have my coffee. I think this is my favorite little headband so far. It's like wearing a hat, but not. This is the thing about Facebook Live. I know there's a little delay. I can keep talking because that's what I do. If you're just joining me, I'm now in the Q&A part of my Holiday Chat with Amy. So if you have any questions on your business, anything that you need help with, or if you just want to share with me what you're focusing on now, I love hearing what you're excited about, what you're focusing on now in your business, then I can help out with that as well. Anything? Anyone? It's a quiet group today. Okay, well, one thing I can share while I'm waiting for any questions that come up is that one thing that's been super helpful this time of year as I'm in my open enrollment for my Powerhouse program and retreat has been to be on an accountability group. So I have my accountability buddy that I've been with for 2 years now, 2+ years, Tracy Campoli. She's a great friend of mine. So every Monday, like clockwork, unless we're traveling or on vacation, we get on a call. It's 30 minutes, focus on her for 15 minutes, focus on me for 15 minutes, and we support each other any way we can. And then right now I'm also in a small group, accountability group, where Monday through Thursday we jump on a quick 15-minute call every morning. And it really, even this morning I was just thinking about how grateful I am for these ladies. It happens to be a group of women that come together every single morning, Monday through Thursday, and just share what we're up to and how things are going in our enrollment process. And it's not just about here are my numbers. I think about my corporate days and it was about numbers, but it's I got to talk to this woman and this is where she is and I'm so excited for her and this is, or I just followed up with someone and I know that she's really wanting to do this and just really helping each other out to stand for people because each of us serve a different audience and then thinking about how can we make the biggest difference for them and just really just hone in on what is it that they want and how can I help them get there. So if you haven't done the accountability thing, I feel like so many people talk about having accountability partners. And for the longest time, I was in resistance around this because I'm I don't have time for that. One more call on the calendar. And then what I recognized was that it's so much better to give myself the gift of accountability and to provide that for somebody else and to just stay in that energetic space where we all hold each other to a higher level and then we keep each other moving forward. And if there's any challenges that are coming up, we share that vulnerably, just oh yeah, this strange thing happened. Or, sometimes when somebody says that they're in, oh yeah, I'm totally in, just send the agreement. And then a day or two goes by and then you get that long love letter, it's just hey, thank you so much for your time, but thinking about it more. And, things like that come up for all of us. And so when we can really stand for one another and think about the best way to communicate from a place of compassion, not be pushy, it's a beautiful thing. So accountability is great. Kate says, really it's about narrowing down what my most potent skills are and who to market to and on what platform. Great. Okay, so Kate, thank you for posting. I feel like today's a quiet group. Yeah, so when I thought about that, because I start out here, when I first launched my business, I was even determining what size of business do I even want to serve? Everything from the solo entrepreneur to corporations. And at first I was working with different levels of businesses, but over time I really thought about who do I really want to work with? Who am I most excited to work with? And also, where do I feel most useful? Sonia says, Amy, I'm posting all the time. That's awesome. So Kate, you can even use this as an opportunity to do a writing exercise where you think about okay, who do I most want to work with? Who do I get excited about working with? And then who do I believe I am most useful for? And you'll notice over time that you'll have frequently asked questions. And when we practice compassion and listening, we'll hear those questions, and then you can really narrow your focus. So at first I was I'm a business coach / consultant, and here I live in the greater Seattle area, and I was getting calls from Starbucks, so I was having meetings on the corporate level with Starbucks headquarters, and really allowing myself to think do I want to serve corporations where I'm more of a business consultant or a marketing consultant, which could have been a great gig, but my heart is with entrepreneurs. My passion is around entrepreneurs. I would do this if money weren't a thing. I would do this. I love what I do. I love hearing what people are up to in this world, hearing what their big dreams are in their business and their life, and what's stopping them from achieving their highest potential, and why is it that some people make it and some people don't. I'm fascinated by human psychology, and then on a very super niche level, I'm all about the power of deep connection. And what I've noticed is that people I attract, this is something I get so excited about. The people I attract as clients and even as an audience are people that are here first and foremost to serve others. I always tell people, I attract the Gandhis and the Mother Teresas of the world. They are the kindest, most generous, most positive, most just giving people I've ever met. And I think there's a part of them that wishes that marketing and sales wasn't even a thing. Just if I could just serve people. And at the same time, they're not sitting on a pot of gold. So but I do need to make a living. But I wish I could spend all my time serving people in the area that I know I can help them. And that's where I come in. I'm great. Let's find a way, let's create a unique way where you can deeply connect with your ideal clients, both online and in person, and market yourself in a way that feels right for you. Kate's laughing. Yeah, so does that make sense? So over time, you can determine who do I want to work with, who do I love to work with, be excited about, and who do I believe I can make the biggest difference for. And even if you don't have the clarity right now, over time, listen, just hear the frequently asked questions. People would ask me all the time, how do I find clients? How do I attract clients? How do I build enough confidence to put myself out there the way that you do, of course in their own authentic way, but I get questions like that all the time. How do you just get on stages or get on Facebook Live? And it's not that I've always had the confidence, but I've had the courage, it doesn't have to be perfect. I remember a podcaster, I'm trying to remember who it was. Maybe it was John Lee Dumas, what popular podcaster that said, be willing to be bad at something in order to get good at it, It's just be willing to not be the best. It's okay if when you get started, you're not the best at it, but if you just keep doing it and learning and practicing and just having that courage, you'll get better. You just will. Kate says, yep, I'll do the writing exercise today. Awesome. Yeah. So yeah, is this helpful? I just want to hear any thoughts, any takeaways. And also what would be helpful for me as I'm doing my holiday daily chat with Amy is if you could just do me a favor and type in below, what are some areas, or if there's one main area that you could use the most help with, then I'm always listening to my audience and hearing where can I be most helpful right now this time of year when it comes to your marketing, your messaging, your connection, your sales, your focus. So if you can just type in the comment section, what area can I help you with the most, then that'll help me. I'm sick of Jerry Maguire. Help me, help you, right? It'll help me help you in any area of business and growth and really committing to your highest potential. As we wrap up 2017, there still is about, 4 weeks until the holidays, or I guess we're getting closer even now, 3.5 weeks till the holiday season, like the final week. And I just believe that a lot can happen this month, and we can finish the year strong and really set ourselves up for success in 2018. So I would love to hear comments below, because then I can really make sure that what I'm providing on these Holiday Daily Chat with Amy videos, that I am helping all of you to the best of my ability. Okay, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. But if this has been helpful, go ahead and share, click on the share button and share your biggest takeaway. I'm committed to helping as many people as I can through Holiday Daily Chat with Amy. So I hope that this has been helpful for you. I wish you an awesome day ahead of you. And I will see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific. Bye.